Mike, we speak to a lot of business owners in what we do, and something that I really regularly hear business owners talk about is how they can't find staff who are like them. You can't find the right staff anymore. And what they mean is that, people aren't the same as that owner. What would you say to these business owners who think this?
Well, the first thing I would say is that you don't want them to be like you, because if they're like you, sooner or later, they'll probably want to own their own business, and then they'll leave and they'll take a chunk of your revenue with them. I think this is probably the biggest bear trap that you can fall into as a business owner, that solid belief that everybody should be like you. And you end up constantly feeling a pang of disappointment when you realize that they're not actually like you. Even though you don't want them to be, you kind of do, really. Why don't they work as hard as you? Why don't they know what you do? Why don't they build their network like you do? Why don't they take a long-term view to their revenue streams? Why aren't they as good at finding candidates, finding clients, placing candidates, whatever? But they're not. They're not you. And the vast majority of people aren't you. Like, if you own your own business and you're good at what you do, you're going to be in the top 5%, right? So accept that. So I think that not only are you disappointed, but actually so are your people, because they'll pick up that you're dissatisfied with them. So they become demotivated and deliver even less. It's madness, really. You should actually build in a dependence for your people so that they actually need you, or need this business more like the organization, the support that you give them to be successful. And that's a really good thing, because they're less likely to leave. And if they do leave, they're not going to have that support that you're giving them anyway. Okay, so where does this leave us then? Well, okay, so first thing you do is accept, in my opinion, that they're not you. They're just not. And you should be deeply suspicious of anybody that you think is a mini you, because where's that going? The second thing is, there's no such thing as a team. It's a myth. A team is a collection of people, but it's the people that's the operative word. What you actually need to do is understand the strengths and weaknesses of each of your people. Then you need to maximize the strengths that you have, right? Really leverage them so that you get the most out of that person's strengths. In terms of the weaknesses, maybe you can turn that weakness into a strength with some training and some coaching, and that's certainly worth a go. But in many cases, weaknesses are inherent. They're not actually going to change it at all. So what do you do then? Well, you have to recut the role slightly so that that weakness is no longer relevant. For example, if somebody's weakness is they're rubbish at business development, and you've tried the coaching and the training and it really hasn't worked, but they're really good at, I don't know, resourcing or consultant, as a consultant, placing people. Well, why not cut the role differently so that they don't have to do business development anymore? You either put them in charge of big accounts, or you give them someone else to bring in those vacancies and bring in those clients for them. We talked about that on the show many times. So where does this leave us at the end? Well, I think that there has to be a recognition that if you have a team that turns over a lot, if there's a lot of attrition because you're sacking people left, right, and center, you will not get those high profit levels that you're looking for. So what we want, nice stable team, low attrition rates, everybody working to their strengths, no one stressed out by having to do things that are in their weaknesses, and you just watch the money mount up, that profit go through the roof. It's the best piece of advice I think I can give anybody, particularly if they happen to be new to management. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you have, and you'd like to receive more of these Ask Mike clips, which are going to be 5-6 minutes long, specific aspects of running and growing a recruitment business, then all you have to do is subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get a new video when we publish it. Also, I think the name is a bit of a giveaway, Ask Mike. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me that you want me to answer in this forum, then please just email them to me at mike@flair.co.uk. Oh, and one more thing, if you've got any questions or pushback, please leave them in the comments and I will respond to them. So I'll see you next time.